Greetings and salutations. I'm Calvin, and you're watching Low Key Cal. And here it is. We made it. New Year's Eve, 2024. Honestly, can't even believe it. Can you believe it? I certainly can. And what a year this has been. I swear, I just looking back at it, the moment that Cat Williams sat in that seat on Club Shay Shay, it was over. Everything since that moment has just been insane. Just I don't even know where to begin, bro. This is like somewhat unscripted, semi scripted, semi unscripted. I'm gonna just be rambling, but this video is just gonna be about my personal highlights of the year and just my goals for next year, what I'm looking forward to, all that jazz. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so let's start with the channel itself. At the time of me making this, I currently have 28 subscribers. Not a lot, admittedly, but it's still better than nothing. I'm just still very incredibly grateful that anyone is watching my videos, and I've managed to somehow get a good subscriber to viewer ratio going, which is something I realize is easier to do when you don't have that many subscribers. So there's that. I'm very grateful for that. Thank you. In terms of goals and that, let's try and aim for 100 by the end of 2025. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this, man. Like making videos this year has been great. Speaking of which, I was able to upload 9 videos this year. I think that's a decent amount, especially since 2 of those videos are at least half an hour long. But I will admit, I did want to upload more. There's still a couple of videos that I should have made months ago that I've kind of just kept putting off, and then that and the combination of being in classes and senior year, well, the transition from junior to senior year, it just prevented me from ever actually just uploading the videos. So, but I will be making it. It pains me just every day passing and the videos aren't up. So I'll definitely have them up, even if it means they're all several months late. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to what next year has in store. In terms of what the videos are about, well, they actually relate to some of my highlights for this year. I've had a lot of opportunities, mainly because of Drexel. One of them being a conference I went to at SUNY ESF, State University of New York, School of Environmental Science Forestries. Went to a conference back in March. I'll be uploading the vlog for that in the next couple of weeks once I have it finished. What else? In August, I went west for the first time in the US to Tucson, Arizona for a scholarship orientation for the Udall Scholarship, which I won this year. Very grateful for that. My co-op that I did from April to September, I have a vlog in the works for that. Just some clips that I've recorded for myself throughout my time working on that co-op. That should probably be the video I'll end up uploading first out of the extremely late videos, because it's only a few put together clips out of context. We'll just completely spread apart from each other, so that shouldn't be too hard for me to put together. I went, oh, another thing, I went to a lot of concerts this year, so expect a vlog about that soon. I had a lot of fun. Something that you should know about me, guys, is that I'm a big music fan, specifically hip hop. I will talk for hours about it. I love learning about it, everything about it, just interviews, video essays, documentaries. It's just such a cool medium, and that will be brought up later in the video. And lastly, there are a couple video ideas I have for, of course, being a student at Drexel, so a couple of student vlogs that I plan on making, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so that's my personal updates and my channel updates. Now let's talk about the highlights of this year in general, on a wider scale, in the public zeitgeist to be specific. Okay, so we'll start off with movies. I'm not gonna lie, I have been semi paying attention to the movies that have come out this year. Don't get me wrong, I've watched a decent amount of films this year, but I've only been semi paying attention to like the really popular releases that have come out. And as a result, there are still some films that I just haven't watched yet. Like I genuinely needed to like look up what films came out this year so I could remember all the films that I watched. Like not to say that the movies this year have been bad. I just haven't been doing the best job of paying attention. Especially since I was specifically hyper fixated on a certain film that I will get into soon. But yeah, of the films that I've watched, I saw Monkey Man this year. That was pretty awesome. I might watch it again at some point. I have not checked if it's on streaming yet or not. I mean, it's been several months now, so I assume so. The Garfield movie, unpopular opinion, I actually did like that movie. It's probably because Garfield has a lot of sentimental value to me, but I don't know. I just enjoyed it. Like, I genuinely would not mind watching it again. I like what they did with Odie. John was basically perfect in terms of his characterization. I just really wish there were more actual Garfield characters, and I also, of course, wish that he wasn't voiced by Chris Pratt and instead voiced by Frank Welker or some other voice actor who has voiced Garfield. Can we please just have voice actors voice the characters that they have been voicing? Please. I'm tired of Chris Pratt. Please leave me alone. Alright, that reminds me. Kung Fu Panda 4 came out this year. I did not watch it. I'm going to keep it that way. I have no interest in watching it. That's because I heard it's mid. But you know what wasn't mid? Inside Out 2. That was one of the few films that specifically this year that I was the most anticipated for. Because I'm pretty sure if you watched the first film back when it came out like I did, nearly almost 10 years ago, which is insane to think about, you knew from then that there would be a sequel. So, like, unlike the Disney sequels that they've been making and that they're going to make, this actually made sense. And I watched it in theaters with my siblings, and it was great. Like, I genuinely preferred it over the first one. And I think this is the best sequel Pixar's made since Toy Story 3, which I don't know how to feel about that, to be quite honest. I feel pretty sad. But we'll see. We'll see how it ends up going. It's kind of sucks because of all the controversy around that film with animators getting laid off even despite the film grossing an insane amount of money to now where it's the most highest grossing American animated film. But yeah, that's just Disney being Disney. Of course, because why would anyone treat animators with respect? Deadpool and Wolverine was a lot of fun. I'll definitely rewatch that again after I rewatch the first two. I don't even entirely remember if I actually watched Deadpool 1 and 2. I just remember glimpses of watching Deadpool, but not fully. So I'll get to that eventually. Oh, and Transformers 1, that was awesome. Even someone like me who knows very little about Transformers, they made it to where anyone could like just go into it knowing and just not being like confused or anything. And even though you knew what was going to happen, it was still so tragic. But yeah, that was a great film. I still have not watched The Wild Robot or Piece by Piece, which pains me because I want to see them, but I just never got around to it. Know what I did end up seeing? Sonic 3. It was gas. I don't even know where to begin, bro. Easy peak cinema, peak trilogy, easily the best of the three. Like the idea, because oh my gosh, I could go on and on, but like the fact that we went from just nightmare fuel, that was the design of the first trailer, to what we have now, where it's just a multi-million-dollar trilogy, is just, and it just keeps getting better. It's like this is the power of bullying, like bullying and punching upward, and just like listening to your fans, because it's so clear. If you haven't seen the movie, please watch it, especially since I want Disney to lose. I want Mufasa to do worse. And it already is happening. Like, Sonic 3 is clearing all other films that have come out that same week. So, great job, everyone. Um, but yeah, it's like they took the feedback of the first two movies and just did everything. They listened. They listened to everything and made what was just like peak cinema. So yeah, go watch it. That's my short review of Sonic 3. Go watch it. Stay after the credits, because there are after credits and you are going to be blown away. It's so good. Oh my gosh. All right, now to get into the extremely big highlights. That being music. All right, guys. So something you should know about me is I love music, specifically hip hop. This is just going to be me gushing. Like, where do I even begin? Let's just start with the big thing. The beef. The beef this year. Kendrick versus Drake. The thing that took over basically the entire year. The thing that brought hip hop back in the mainstream. Because as much as I loved hip hop, I have to admit it has been struggling for the past few years in terms of commercially. Like, you can't even, like, country has past hip hop in terms of numbers. Like, you can't ignore those numbers, unfortunately. Like, y'all think it's a coincidence that Beyonce that just happened to drop a country album this year. But anyway, this beef, oh my goodness, it was incredible. Not only just as a Kendrick fan, but also just as a Aubrey hater, a hater of Drake. I love being a hater, and he is one of the things that I hate the most. I don't 100% remember when I started disliking Aubrey, but the earliest I can remember is the stupid Donda versus CLB debate, and just remembering, like, just wow, this is stupid. And ever since then, at least that point, I just didn't like him. And now he's finally got his comeuppance, and it was just glorious to see just Kendrick just besting him at each and every turn, bro. Oh my gosh. He was always he was playing 4D chess with this man the whole time. I can't look at him the same way again, cuz it's just like I bruh, like, that's insane. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. I just hit my elbow against my chair. Oh, that's annoying. But yeah, that was incredible. And just the reactions, dude. I'm so mad at myself for not hopping on the reaction, like, wave. Cause yeah, I made a few reactions this year, but just to trailers, I really should have made a reaction to at least one of the songs, cause that elevated the experience. Just not only the songs dropping, but just everyone's collective reaction to it. It just elevated this, like, this is a moment in history. This is gonna be remembered in the history books, and like a documentary or a biopic some point in the future, bro. And oh my gosh, especially Meet the Grams. that that was a moment. Like that's probably how it felt when Ether dropped. When Nas's Ether dropped. I now realize it's just like, where were you that day when Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams within the hour that Aubrey dropped Family Matters? It's just like incredible. Bro, what do you mean Kendrick dropped? Drake just dropped like half an hour ago. What is happening?
Ass was online all
That
day.
is insane. He was. This is insane. He was waiting. He was waiting. Are you listening to it right now?
Wait. Is it actually true? Is it actually true?
It's on. He sent the link to the chat. That's on. That's the official
lying.
Kendrick account. He dropped again.
Bro, this nigga.
Oh my god.
Nigga, what the
Oh
fuck is
my
happening right
God.
now? Bro, I'm playing that shit right now.
Jesus Christ.
I'm playing that shit right now. We got.
I know. And oh my god. And the fact that like that Kendrick just let people react to the content without getting them demonetized, it was just incredible. There's a few things about this whole beef. One, I feel like we should acknowledge Euphoria is better than Not Like Us. Not Like Us is a great song, a great diss. I never get tired of it. I don't care. But Euphoria in general is just the better diss. It's so layered, it's so calculated, and just so many quotables. It's incredible. And two, 616 in LA is so underrated. The most underrated track in this whole beef. Like, the Al Green sample, first of all, is amazing. And then just like the premise of just Kendrick praying to God before he annihilates someone, asking him for permission, like that's insane. This man really stopped to pray mid beef. Like, who does that? Only my goats. Only one of my goats. It was just, bro. And that this was Kendrick's year. This was Kendrick's year. And then the surprise drop of GNX out of nowhere. No advertising, no build up. It's just like, up, here's the album. Well, short clip of one of the songs. I think, what was it, the first one? It was Walked Out Murals, yeah. And then I thought that was it. Just Walked Out Murals. But then my friend was like, oh, whole album drop. I'm like, what are you talking about? Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Seeing, like, I've been wanting Aubrey's downfall for years, and it's finally happened, and it's just incredible. And, bro, the West Coast in general just took over hip hop this year. They had such a great year, bro. Outside of Kendrick, Tyler dropped Cornucopia, Vince Staples dropped his album. Great album. I need to listen to more Vince Staples. Schoolboy Q dropped, also one of my favorite albums this year, Blue Lips. Like, Doechii dropped. I'm so glad I started listening to her this year. Alligator Bites Never Heal. That was a fire project. Oh my gosh. And Absol dropped. I have not listened to that album. That's another thing. There's so many albums that came out this year. It's so difficult to try to choose, like, even a top 10 or trying to organize them, because it's just like everyone dropped. Like, I can obviously choose my favorite album. My favorite album by far was Common and Pete Rock's The Auditorium Volume 1. That was easily my favorite album. Just the sound and just the soulfulness. It's just a sound that I felt like needs to make a comeback in hip-hop. And something else I realized, all of my favorite rappers dropped this year. Kendrick dropped, Nas dropped, celebrating 30 years of just being the GOAT, in my opinion. 30th anniversary of 30 years of Illmatic, just incredible. Even MF Doom with the 20th anniversary edition of Food, that was amazing. I bought 2 of those shirts, like, dude. And then Lupe dropped an amazing album. Samurai, JPEG Mafia drops an amazing album. There's just so many albums. Like, everyone was dropping. And the LL Cool J album, The Force, produced by the Q-Tip that I'm just like, I'm not hearing anyone talk about, not anyone, but like in my public circle, people aren't really talking about the album. And I'm like, why? This is an amazing album, guys. You need to give it a listen. I don't know how much longer I can go with this. Who else dropped? I made a list because it was just, yo, Freddie Gibbs dropped a project finally. Well, not finally, but like he dropped an album. West Side Gun dropped an album. It's just like everyone dropped music this year. And it's just like, oh my gosh, it's so Corday dropped an amazing album. I enjoyed it. Oh man. Oh my gosh. It's so much. It's so much. And oh my gosh, the beef from the hip hop community in general was just elevated because of Kendrick versus Drake. The amount of YouTubers that I found out about and just started listening to this year because of the coverage of this event is just incredible. Mainly because of FD Signifier, who I've been watching for a couple of years. But from him and just the coverage of the beef, I started watching The Company Man, Professor Sky, I Used to Be Pay, Top 5 Troy, Read My Soul, Anthony Aiken Jr., and probably there's a few more that I just can't even think of right now, because it's just like, yo, I'm at a loss of breath. I'm at a loss of breath right now. Oh, and this year being the year that Nujabes and Jay Dilla would have been 50, because they were born the same day, which I will never get over. That's incredible. Oh my gosh. And yes, before you're asking, I will be seeing Kendrick. I need to see that man live. I will find a way to finance that for myself. That needs to happen. Same thing with Tyler. I'll somehow make it work. We'll see what happens by God's willing. Oh my gosh. Next year's gonna be great. Alright, and then the last category, YouTube. Highlights on YouTube. I think the first major highlight for me was just Too Mad fucking dying. I still can't process that. And that man just like went down a complete downward spiral for over a year and then just gone. The memes, regardless of how you feel about him, I'm not gonna lie, the memes were hilarious because the way he went out was a way that only he specifically would. And it's just like, damn, bro had everything and just got rid of it all. And it's just insane. And the other highlight for me, of course, Corey X Kenshin being back. My twin, of course, as I've been called many times over the years. Nikocado Avocado effectively just trolling the entire internet will just be forever just in YouTube history because that shit's honestly insane. Like, the absolute mastermind stunt that was, like, bro really had that. It's like, you're insane. Like, absolutely wild for pulling that off. Oh, the whole Mr. Beast thing, Mr. Beast situation was just really interesting in general. Not only with Dogpack releasing, like, the video to start everything of just exposing Mr. Beast, but also the counterclaim, like, that video made that basically refutes a good amount of the claims Dogpack was making. It's just like, Charlie was right. There were no winners in that situation. Oh, Dr. Disrespect, that was just disgusting. The memes were great, but that whole situation sucked. Glorb, my precious Glorb being back just to create absolute heat as always. Like, SpongeBob music is now one of my favorite genres. No joke, it's incredible. Like, I genuinely, like, cannot get enough of it. The verbal ace situation, bro, like all this serious drama, and then you have that, and that's just like, wow. It was nice having that to just like make things a little silly, because just life is just a bit silly sometimes, you know? Something that just doesn't harm anyone. It's just, yo. But yeah, I think I've rambled long enough. I want to be able to get this in before the new year, so I'm just gonna stop here. I might be forgetting stuff, but I think I've covered basically everything that I wanted to cover. Thank you guys so much for putting up with me. Um, I look forward to continuing to inform and entertain you all and to grow this channel in numbers and quality. It's great. I got a good amount planned for next year. You guys have no idea. But when it hits you, it's going to be great. It's going to be so, so good. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the holidays. And I'll see you guys in 2025. Sayonara.